Now, ever since the dawn of the automobile, there has never been a car in automobile history that has ever been revered as the perfect car. Because each car has its own highs, lows, strengths, weaknesses, pros, and cons. And that is never more evident than the cars that are being made here in 2016. Now, I think I'm correct when I make this statement how we as car enthusiasts, we need some time to get familiar with our cars. We have to live with them on a daily basis. We have to maintain them. We have to drive them to really know what our cars are all about. Now, I've owned my Camaro for little less than 2 years. I track my car basically on an almost monthly basis. My car is more like a toy and I don't really daily drive it. But after almost 2 years of ownership, I think I finally found the greatest weakness in my V6 Camaro. Now, of course, the 5th gen Camaro comes in several different platforms. The V6 version like I got, or the VA variety like some of you watching me have. Now, I have to say that because after I say what I'm about to say, there's going to be some VA Camaro owners who'll be probably chucking, looking at me half cross-eyed. Matter of fact, I know what they're thinking right about now. They're probably thinking, we got him. We finally got him. Now he's going to finally admit how he wishes he would have bought a V8 Camaro. But no, ladies and gentlemen, that's not what I'm about to say. Because truth be told, I would never even known this weakness exists if I didn't track my car. Because if I was doing some normal fun-spirited driving like we all do, this problem would never rear its ugly head. But after 2 years of ownership of my V6 Camaro, in my humble opinion, the greatest weakness of my car is the lack of torque. More specifically, the lack of low-end torque. Because after all the track days that I've been on in the past 2 years that I've owned my car, one thing is apparent. This car is a beast on the straights. It's an even bigger beast in the engine portion of a turn. But where this car falls short is the exit portion of that corner. Because one thing I've learned, one thing that I know, that I could be in second gear, 4,800 RPM, where the little bit of torque in my car is, smash on the gas, and there is just nothing there. There's no low-end grunt. There's no low-end bite to pull me out of that corner and launch me onto that straight. Because after all the track days that I've been on, two things routinely, always, habitually happen on the exit portion of a turn. First thing, if I'm trying to pass a slower car in front of me and I'm on his ass in the engine portion of the turn, every single time the exit portion comes, he will always gain a little bit of distance on me before I can catch him because there's just no low-end grunt there. And another thing I've noticed, the exit portion of a turn is where I always get past because again, there's no low-end grunt. There's no low-end bite to pull me off of that corner. Now, I know what some of you out there are probably thinking. Well, DV, have you been doing your research? Have you been trying to figure out ways to improve the torque in your car? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have. But all the research I've been able to find only brings me to the same conclusion. Because if I were to get simple bolt-ons, downpipes, better breathing exhaust, the increase in torque would only be minimal. The increase in low-end torque would only be marginal. Because what I've been able to find is the only way to waken up an LFX engine, which is the engine that is underneath my hood, is I'm going to have to put some kind of forced induction on it. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, I have to be real with each and every one of you. I am not about to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a turbocharger or a supercharged system to give me more increase in horsepower than torque. Because as I've stated many times before, if I want an increase in horsepower, I would have simply got me a V8. Now, I know what some of you out there are probably thinking after that last comment. Well, DV, we already know that you don't care about horsepower, but you're sitting here making a video complaining about the lack of torque in your car. So exactly what is your point? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my point is very simply this. I have to go back to how I started off this video. There has never been, nor will there ever be, a car that's considered to be perfect. The only thing we car enthusiasts can do is build and shape and mold and modify our car to get as close to perfection as we possibly can. Because after almost 2 years of owning my V6 Camaro, I am about 90% satisfied with how my car sits. And I humbly think that I am probably the closest to perfection I will ever get. Because I know some people are probably thinking, well, if you cared about torque, why didn't you just get a V8? Or why don't you just stop being cheap and spend the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and get some forced induction to solve your low-end torque problems? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to answer that question by simply saying this. Is gaining the low-end torque that I'm so desperately needing, that only 10% about my car that I don't like, worth risking losing any portion or any percentage of that 90% that I already love about my car? And in my humble opinion, the answer is no. Because if I'm more happy with where my car stands, isn't it always best to leave it be rather than changing something and risk losing anything that you currently already like about your car? That's my opinion. And as always, each and every one of you already know, this show is not about what I think. It's about you. It's about what you think and your opinions. For all my V6 fam out there, what do you think is the greatest weakness of your car? For all my V8 Camaro owners, matter of fact, no matter what car you own, what do you think is the greatest weakness of your car? Because that's what this channel is about. Your opinions, because each and every one of you already know how much I enjoy interacting and having discussions with each and every one of you, because that's what these topics are about. Because nobody is ever wrong and each individual person is entitled to their own opinion. Thank each and every one of you for tuning into this edition of Me and Mine TV. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and check out all the other videos that I've posted so far. Thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Stay tuned for my next upload.